Dude, I'm just saying, America, I love you, but you have nothing.
세계 최강국임을 자랑하는 미국. 이를 부정할 사람은 그 어디에도 없겠지만 미국인들 스스로도 이건 남들보다 못하다고 인정하는 분야가 있는데요. 다름 아닌 의료 시스템입니다. 세계 최고 수준의 의사와 병원들이 미국에 한둘이 있는 게 아닌데 무슨 소리냐고요? 그러면 뭐 합니까? 돈 있는 사람들만 그 혜택을 누릴 수 있고 없으면 병원 가기도 힘든데. 지금부터 소개해드릴 분은 미국에서 살다 한국에 이민 와서 우리 의료 시스템을 접했는데요. 그녀가 직접 말하는 한국과 미국 의료의 차이를 들어보십시오.
I'm Sherino, and oh my god, you guys. Do I have a story to tell you about what I did yesterday? Okay, so if you've watched any of my videos, y'all know that I live in South Korea. So my husband told me that in South Korea, every 2 years, every citizen or resident gets to have a physical, a health check or whatever. And so it was my turn yesterday. I was thinking that it's very much like, I mean, if you do a health check in America, which is, you know, you go into the doctor, you wait forever to see him, you pay your copay, he does like your blood pressure, he might listen to your lungs, ask you some basic questions, and then send you on your way, right? That is not what happened yesterday. Dude, I'm just saying, America, I love you, but you have nothing on how awesome Korea's healthcare system is.
슈리와 같은 미국인들이 고작 건강검진 하나 갖고 왜 이리 호들갑인지 이해가 안 되실 분들 많으실 겁니다. 왜 그런지는 유튜브 같은 데서 미국 병원과 우리나라 등 외국 병원에 대해 다룬 영상을 검색해보시면 이해하실 수 있을 건데요. 가운데 밑부분에 있는 영상 썸네일만 봐도 미국 병원비가 영국 병원비에 비해 너무 비싸다고 하는 내용이란 걸 짐작하실 수 있습니다. 그보다 두 칸 위에 있는 영상도 독일 병원비가 미국 병원비보다 훨씬 싸면서도 좋은 의료 서비스를 받을 수 있다는 내용이고요. 그만큼 미국의 공공의료 시스템은 다른 나라들에 비해 취약하고 접근성이 낮기로 악명이 높은데요. 그런 나라에 살다 세계적으로도 인정받고 있는 한국 의료 시스템을 겪어보니 딴 세상처럼 느껴지는 걸 겁니다. 영상 이어서 보시지요.
And yeah, before I get started, I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about the Korean healthcare system and everything must be rainbows and butterflies. I'm sure there's problems with it just like there is in any country, but I'm comparing to my life experience in America. And there is no comparison. Okay, so let me just tell you. I first thought I was going to, like, I have a doctor at the university hospital because I have lupus, so I need a rheumatologist, and he speaks English, so it's awesome. But no, we went to this huge building, and my husband said, no, this is the health check building. And I was thinking, all right, okay, cool, whatever. And we go inside, and they give me the most comfortable hospital gown, pajama thing I have ever worn in my life. I was so tempted to steal it, but the last thing I want to do is to get kicked out of my new country. So I didn't do it, but I was thinking it. Anyway, so the first thing that they did was, we went to the first floor. I don't remember exactly what number of the floor it was, but it was a floor. And they had like all these pods, and above it in Korean and in English said what the pods were. And they just kept calling my name to each pod or taking me to each pod. And so like I had to write a list, y'all, because I did not want to forget to tell you some of the things that I did. So first thing they did was they took my blood pressure twice. They also did an eye exam, did a hearing exam. Okay. Then they took me into another room and they did an EKG. After the EKG, they took me into another room to get a chest x-ray. You guys, when have you ever gotten a chest x-ray just as a standard routine? Not because the doctor thinks you've got something, but just to make sure you don't have something. But yeah, I was so shocked because x-rays in America are not cheap, but they're cheap here.
슈리가 엑스레이 비용을 보고 충격받은 이유는 간단한데요. 미국에서는 의료보험 미적용 시 엑스레이 찍는 데만 $200에서 $400가 드는데요. 보험 가입하면 되지 않냐 하실지 모르겠지만 보험비 낼 돈은 하늘에서 떨어집니까? 반면 한국에서는 국민건강보험만 들어있어도 $10,000 정도만 내면 엑스레이를 찍을 수 있습니다. 미국에서는 보험 적용을 받아도 한화로 몇만 원은 내야 한다는 걸 생각하면 정말 싼 겁니다. 이렇게 비교해보니 충격을 받을 만하네요. 자기 나라에서 내던 것의 수십 분의 1 정도밖에 안 되는 돈만 내도 동등한 서비스를 받을 수 있으니
After that, they also drew blood for standard labs, like the CBC, comp, panel, things like that. I know some doctors probably do that too in America. And they also did a urinalysis, which probably isn't that crazy. But again, it was just part of this panel of things that they did for me. Then, I know y'all never get as a routine physical. And I think it's amazing, but oh my God, was it a interesting experience for me. So, as part of the standard 2-year routine, you get an endoscopy. If you don't know what an endoscopy is, it's where they put a tube down your throat into your stomach to look and check for stomach cancer. And that is routine. They routinely, every 2 years, check for stomach cancer. So we went to another floor because this entire building, all of these levels have like MRIs, CT scan. They have all the things that they need in this building. But we go into this next floor. They give me an IV. I wait for like 5 minutes and then they put me into this other room where they give me propofol, I think is what it's called. And my husband tried to record me coming out of the anesthesia because he said that as I'm waking up, I'm speaking Korean about how I can't speak Korean and Korean is difficult in Korean. So I just woke up from the propofol and I feel a little drunk still, but I was only asleep for 5 minutes when most people stay asleep for 30 minutes. So now I think we're on to the breast cancer test. I thought, how strange is it that my language of choice when I'm unconscious is Korean and not English? You'd think that would be done, but no, it wasn't. As soon as I was lucid enough, then they took me to the next floor and I got a mammogram as part of my routine every 2-year physical, and then they did a pap smear. And then lastly, I got taken in to do a dental screening. How cool is that? Now, I bet your next question is, okay, Sheree, but how much is this gonna set you back? Why don't you leave a comment in below? I'll wait a second and tell me what your guess is. You're wrong. It was free! F-R-E-E-E-E-E-E-E-E-E. Free. $0. No dinero. 돈이 없어. The only thing I did have to pay for, my husband said later, was he did pay, I think, $50 for the propofol so that I didn't have to be awake while they were sticking the tube down my throat. Thank you, dear. I love you. But that was it. My copay to see my doctor was, in America, was $50. And that did not include blood work or paps or mammogram. Well, sometimes you can get a certificate for a free mammogram. But come on. We all know that in America, all of that stuff would have cost a fortune even after insurance paid. $50 to knock me out, everything else was free. And you know how long it took me to get all these done? 3 hours. 3 hours. That is it. From start to finish, 3 hours. It would take like 3 months in America just to get the appointments for all of those things. Y'all, I don't even know what to say about it anymore. We all know that the healthcare system in America is not the greatest. And no, don't get into an argument in my comments about Obamacare and all blah, 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 blah. These are problems we have had for like 50 years or plus longer. Who knows? I don't even know. This is not new problems. So, I just gotta say, I didn't mind it. Free is my favorite number. So if you ever want to come visit Korea, even if you have to pay out of pocket, it's still cheaper because I did do a video before about the cost without insurance when I first came here and I didn't have insurance and what I had to pay for my medications and seeing the doctor. And FYI, it was nuts crazy cheap.
이게 단순히 슈리 혼자만의 생각일까요? 현재 실제 미국에서 생활하는 사람들의 경험담만 봐도 슈리가 말한 것들이 절대 과장이 아니란 걸 아실 수 있습니다. 미국 교민들이 많이 이용하는 커뮤니티에 올라온 글인데요. 어깨 아파서 엑스레이 찍은 비용만 $90고 보험사에서 조정하고 나서야 $20를 냈다고 한 게 보이실 겁니다. 보험료까지 생각하면 실질적으로는 그보다 훨씬 큰 비용이 드는 셈이지요. 댓글을 보면 그나마도 좋은 보험사라 가능한 거고 자기는 보험 들어도 $40 내지는 $60 한다고 하는 분들도 계시네요. 엑스레이 하나만 해도 이런데 치료까지 한다면 얼마나 많은 돈이 들까요? 이런 걸 보면 나라가 단순히 돈만 많다고 선진국이 아니라 제도까지 제대로 마련돼야 진짜 선진국이 아닌가 싶습니다. 그런 점에서 우리의 의료제도가 세계적으로 칭찬받는 거고요.